The Los Angeles Lakers are a very badly constructed team. One of the main reasons why they're very badly constructed is that they've got too many players on their team that are currently superstars in LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, and players that were superstars in the past in Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, and Rajon Rondo. And you might argue, why is that a bad thing? In the NBA, you win championships by having superstars on your team. And having more superstars than other teams means that you're going to win the big trophy. And you can even argue that if you have one superstar on your team and he's the best player on the planet, and if he gets hot on the right time in the playoffs, you can go on a big run and win the big trophy, like the Milwaukee Bucks last summer with Giannis. But if you watch the Los Angeles Lakers play when it comes to the offensive side of the game, it's a very stagnant offense. It looks like the players do not know what to do because the superstars that they have on their team are high energy and high usage players. Players like Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, they've always had the ball in their hand. They've always been the players that have been playing massive minutes and have had the ball in their hand for a continuous usage. They're the ones that make the big plays for the teams. They're the ones that take the big shots for the team, meaning they always need the ball in their hand to make a difference. And what's happening now with the Lakers offense is that when someone takes it up, they hold the ball for the entire 24 seconds. So if LeBron James takes it up, he holds it for 24 seconds, and then he takes his shot and he makes a move and he shoots. But what's happening around him is that everyone around him is stagnant. They don't know what to do. They don't know, should we run? Should we move around? Should we pass the ball? Because there's no ball movement and there's no movement in the people. Because they're superstar players. They've always had the ball and they've always had a high usage with the ball. So people like Russell Westbrook don't know what to do because they're like, should I be moving? Should I be running? Should I go to the hoop? Like, what should I be doing when someone else has the ball? They have no idea. And so when you watch the Lakers on the offensive side, whoever has the ball, it can be Russ, it can be Carmelo, it can be LeBron, it can be AD, they just hold on to the ball and they take the entire 24 seconds and they take a bad shot and then they miss, brick city, and then it goes back. That's all their offense is. They're missing key role players. If you look at all the teams that have won championships or have done well in the playoffs, how have they done well in the playoffs? It's because they had key role players who knew when to take the big shot, who knew how to move around. They just don't have those players. They're lacking key role players. If you look at Chicago with Michael Jordan, they had Steve Kerr. And they had other role players who were moving around without the ball. They were ready when they needed to be ready. They were high energy players and they took big shots and they made big shots. If you look at the early 2000s San Antonio Spurs, you had Bruce Brown making big shots because he knew what to do. He was a key role player. And the problem with the Los Angeles Lakers is that they don't have role players. They have superstars that are not playing role players, but they don't know what to do. Carmelo Anthony, he's a good three-point shooter now. He's worked really hard, and I'm proud of him. He's changed his game, and he's coming off the bench, and he's taking big three-pointers. But if you look at when it comes to the offensive side, he does not know what to do. He does not know, should I be running to the ball? Should I move around? Should I move my defender closer to me so LeBron James has an open lane? He does not know what to do because he is a superstar player. He's always had the ball in his hand, and he's always made a difference with the ball in his hand. So they don't have a movement because they're missing key role players. They need players on the team that are role players, that are high energy, that know that they're not going to get the big money, they're not going to get the big bag, they're not going to have the ball entire time, but they're going to get it once. And all they need to do is make the big shot. They don't have those players. They don't have the high energy players who are going to leave it all on the line and play that defensive role and come in and hit big shots. They don't have those players. What they're trying to do is they're trying to put superstars into role players, and they don't know what to do. And the second reason is that they suck at defense. They're absolutely trash when it comes to the defense. They're letting the teams like Sacramento score over 110 points on them, score over 150 points on them, like easy buckets. Then they do not play any defense. And that comes back to the superstar players. Because if you look at the superstar players that they have, besides LeBron James, who's 36 now, and Anthony Davis, and even maybe Dwight, but Dwight's past his prime, they don't have anyone that plays good defense. Russell Westbrook has never been a good defender. Carmelo Anthony was known for never playing defense. He was known to play offense. They've got players on the team that don't play good defense, and teams that are awful, that are suck, that are under 500 can easily score 100 points on them with ease. That's one of the biggest issues they have currently going for them, is that they don't play any defense. They don't play defense, and they don't have key role players. And the third reason that I think they're a very badly constructed team is because they're brick city. They're brick city. No one on that team can shoot. Besides LeBron James, who's an awful three-point shooter, is one of their best shooters, and Carmelo Anthony, who's worked up to be a good shooter, and Malik Monk. Everyone else cannot shoot. They cannot do anything when it comes to shooting the basketball. They all are trash. Anthony Davis is trash. Russ is known for he's brick Westbrook. He's never been able to shoot. He's never improved as a shooter. And they can't shoot the ball. And when LeBron James, who's an awful shooter, is one of your best shooters, you might have a problem. And that's why I think they're a very badly constructed team. If this was 2010, if this was 2005, this team will win. They will win easily. They will win the championship. But now, when they have players on the team that were superstars in the past, but not now, they're past their prime, they're way too old. They're way too old. They're like 32. I think their average age is 32. They're the oldest team in the NBA. But if this was like 2010, yeah, they win the championship. If this was 2005, they win the championship. But currently, they're not even going to sniff it. I think they will make the playoffs, obviously. They got good players. They will make the playoffs. But I think maybe semifinals, maybe conference finals. But I do not see them winning the championship with the current roster that they have. They're a very badly constructed team. They don't got key role players. They don't have good shooters on the team that can open the court. They need to open the court. You have Anthony Davis, you have LeBron James, and you have Russell Westbrook. Now think about if you surround them with good shooters, it would open the court so much for those three players who can go to the hoop with ease. Right now what's happening is that every team is just compacting the middle of the court. They're putting everyone in the paint and are easily defending what you call Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis. Because it's easy to do. They're like, well, he can't shoot a lick. Screw him. We're just going to guard the paint and hope Russell Westbrook doesn't charge at us. That's easy to do. That's what they're currently doing. So if Los Angeles Lakers want to make it to the next round or go far in the playoffs, they need to get some key role players who are able to shoot on the team. And that would change. And they need to get some defensive players too, because they can't stop anyone. They cannot stop anyone. Anyone in the NBA can go and score a bucket on the Los Angeles Lakers. They're that bad of a team. They're that bad. Sacramento scored around 100 and something, like 140, I believe. That game went to 3 overtimes. 3 overtimes. It's crazy. They're a very badly constructed team. Then we got some key role players who know what to do when it comes to winning championship. Get some defensive players on the team. And get some shooting. Because if they don't, they're not going to make it that far. They're not.